while we wait for the yeast to bloom, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make a nice yeast bread. So what you'll do is start out with some gold medal bread flour. I've got 3 cups in the bowl here. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon. I've just got a little bit of a mess here, but that's okay. A teaspoon of salt. And just sprinkle that over. And we're just getting this ready, so we'll be ready to go here in a minute. You'll also want to add a tablespoon of olive oil. And this is a very simple recipe, and you're going to really love it. So we're going to mix that together. I'm just going to use my little spoon here. Of course, you could use your hands if you want to, but since we're filming, I'm just going to do it like this until we add the yeast. So we'll be back in a moment with some yeast to mix to this mixture, and then we'll knead it. Folks, we're ready now. Our yeast, as you can see here, has become a beautiful frothy bowl of yeast that is going to make your bread bubbly and delicious and airy. So we're going to go ahead and pour this over into our, well, first of all, let me tell you this. If it doesn't look frothy like this, if it's just sitting there, then it is not going to make your bread rise, so you need to start over and make sure your water is not too hot. But this we know is good, so we're going to go ahead and mix this in to our bowl of the flour that I've already showed you we had ready. I'm going to use this wooden spoon for just a minute just to incorporate it well, and then I'm just going to get in there with my hands and I'm going to knead it for just a few minutes until it gets mixed in really good. Okay, as we can see here, and okay, you may need to add more water to this if necessary, but I think this is looking great. I'm just going to work it a few minutes here until all of this flour is incorporated. Don't be afraid to get your hands in there. You're not going to hurt the dough. Let me see here if there's just a little. I'm going to put just a tad of water if you just hold on a moment for me. And that was just maybe 1/4 of a cup. Just want to make sure we get all the dough mixed up. And you can also notice that this will give you a great upper arm workout while you knead the dough. It's fun. It's like playing with Play-Doh when you were a kid. So you just want to keep mixing that. Now you could drag out another bowl and grease it, wash it, and all that jazz. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to take a little drop of olive oil and drizzle it around. And then you just want to coat your bread with that, your dough. And we're going to cover this and leave it in a draft-free place for about 20 minutes. Now this is a quick rising dough, so it's not going to take you all day to make. And you can make a lot of different things with it. I have several recipes on my website that you can make with it. So just cover your dough with a cloth and wait for it to rise. And we'll be back to show you the rest of the recipe after this. Guys, welcome back. Now, as you can see, our dough has doubled up and we're ready to get started making some delicious bread with it. And I'm also going to make something new, which is going to be some Parmesan rolls. So we have enough dough here for both of those. I'm just going to punch that down just a little bit, work it just a minute more, and then I'm just going to pinch off some little pieces of dough and start putting them into the pan. As you can see, it doesn't matter if they touch. I'm just going to bubble up some more because we're going to let it rise probably about 10 more minutes after this. It doesn't have to be perfect, just to grab you a pretty good, about an inch size piece of dough and Just roll it in your hand like that. Now that one was a little bit big, but it's okay. And I've actually already put just a little bit of olive oil down at the bottom of the pan. So we will just continue like this. And this is going to rise up so it doesn't have to be too closely together. I think. How many have we got here? We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. We'll go ahead and make it 16. And then we're going to cover this and let it rest. And I was gonna just let you see here. We're just gonna put just a little bit of olive oil on the top so they'll get nice and golden. And drizzle just a little more olive oil on here. They have risen to double their size. Just gonna put a little olive oil to make it golden, and about 1/4 of a cup of Parmesan cheese. This is gonna go into a 400-degree oven for 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'll have a nice, delicious bread. And now, as you can see, we have a hot, delicious Parmesan yeast roll bread that you can serve as an accompaniment to any kind of meal that you like, or with soup or salad. Hope you enjoy.